Hello, how are you? My name's Samantha. This is the Khaos Kismet podcast. I haven't been here for a few weeks. I'll do a proper life update at the end, but it's about 8:30 at night now. I'm not going to have time to edit, so this is just going to go as is. Everything that I talk about, I'm going to link down below. Anything that I forget to link down below, just let me know, and I will give you the links, and I will also link it down below for everybody else. I also can't show you things on, sometimes I do it on my tablet. The tablet has decided that it doesn't want to use Chrome anymore, and I don't have anything else on it, and I do not have the brain to put anything else on it right now. So yeah, we're just I'm gonna show you the stuff. It's mostly finished objects that I've got today anyway, so I will show you the stuff. I will link it down below, and next week I will be better. It's just, yeah, I don't know, we have school holidays at the minute. I've been ill for the last couple of weeks, and I have ADHD, and if you don't know, ADHD is not actually a hyperactive thing, especially in women. It's a bit like that, and I'm going through a bit of a tired phase at the minute, so I fell asleep this afternoon when I was supposed to record, so now my entire day has just gone. But we shall carry on regardless. I'm going to show you the things that I've done. So I'll do a proper life update at the end, in case people don't really care. And yeah, we'll just get on with some stuff. Apologies if I've shown anything before. I will say one thing, a little bit of admin stuff at the minute. I had posted on Instagram, I think it was. I posted on Instagram saying that I'm having a little bit of a change up of schedule. I'm now going to be doing podcasts on a Monday because I'm struggling to record them on Fridays. But also, what was happening was, because I was doing my Stitcher libraries on Mondays, and then it was just a little bit weird having the podcast first and then Stitcher library, because then I had to wait another week to show you the Stitcher library stuff that I had done. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to have Stitcher library on a Sunday to show you the stuff that I've done for that week, and then on a Monday I'm going to have the podcast, because on my podcast I don't go into detail, but I briefly show you the things that I've done for Stitcher library as well, because not everybody wants to watch Stitcher library, so I briefly flash the things, and if you want more details about them, then you can see it on the Stitcher library videos. So it's a little bit of a change up. So podcasts will now be on Mondays, Stitcher libraries will now be on a Sunday, because Fridays are just difficult for me to record now. Life has just changed since, sorry, the dog's on the windowsill just there. She had a tendency to fall off it because she thinks that she's that size, when in fact she's that size and the windowsill is that size. I'm hoping she's not going to fall off. Oh dear. Right. I'm going to show you some stuff. I apologise if it's stuff that I've shown you before. Because I'm changing my days around, and because I've had a few weeks off now, I think it's 3 weeks off I've had, I'm just taking this as a reset. So today is going to be a reset video just to show you everything that I've been doing, and then on Sunday we'll have Stitcher library. Then next Monday is going to be everything that I've done this week. I think that's everything. So if I have shown you this stuff before, I apologise. I don't want to go back and watch myself on videos to work it out. I don't have the time or the energy or the brain for that right now. It'll be okay. I'm not going to spend ages on lots of because I've got quite a few finished objects. It's mostly finished objects that I've got today. It's mostly crochet. I've got a couple of sewing bits, a couple of knitting bits, and a couple of cross stitch bits. So I'll just get on with it. So the first thing I'm going to show you is Sword Art Country Classic. Hello, focus. In the colour Royalty. No? Come on! You can do it. I believe. No? Oh, there you go. Alright. Sword Art Country Classic in Royalty. This is 100 grams. It is worsted. It's English yarn from Yorkshire, which is at the top of England. 200 metres, 218 yards, 50% merino and 50% acrylic. It's lovely. This is fantastic stuff to work with. It's soft, but whereas merino stretches a lot, it's got give in it, but it's not, see, it's got like a bit of give in it, but it's not like super stretchy, but it's got the softness of the merino. And I have made this pom-pom. I got these from a pound at Hobbycraft, and it's got a ribbon tie inside it. There we go. This is Gudetama stitch hat with these. This is going to be going in the shop. I just have to find my little head thing to put it on. So that is finished object number 1. I've got a few hats. I think, what did I use for that? It's worsted weight. I used a 5mm for the ribbing, and you start with the ribbon and then work up. So use a 5mm for the ribbon and a 5.5 for the griddle stitch. And it turned out really nice. It's like quite close fitting, but I wanted it to be a close fitting one so I could put the pom-pom on it, because pom-poms on a slouchy hat look weird, I think. Some people might be able to pull it off, but I think as a general thing, pom-poms look better on a fitted hat. So yes, this is a shop one, but it's a lovely colour. I might end up keeping it. Finished object number 1. Finished object number 2. I can't remember what the name of it is, and I can't work it out because I can't open my Chrome. But we have this. I think I showed this before when I had started working on it. It's Leader of the Pack in mustard from Hobbycraft. This is like one of their is it Knitcraft? It's Hobbycraft's own brand yarn anyway, and it's just a big panel. I put these buttons down. I think it's supposed to be one of the ones that crosses down like that, but I never find that they fit very well. So we have this one, and ooh, see, it's just nice, and I quite like it with the buttons on it. This is also going to be a shop one though. Ugh. The yarn is lovely. I think it might be discontinued now, or at least this colour might be discontinued. I got 2 balls of it in the sale ages ago, and it's just got that nice little halo in it. And I think it's something like 10% alpaca. It's not a lot, because I have issues with alpaca. Sometimes it's fine. Oh, I've got my hair's attached to my ears. Sometimes alpaca's fine with me, and sometimes it's just not. And it makes me very, very itchy, but this is okay. But it's still got like the alpaca softness and the fuzz, the halo. So we have this, and we have these little bean stitch things, bubbles. Really nice, easy pattern to work. You'll notice a lot of the things that I've been making have been like low brain stuff, because that's just where I've been at for the last few weeks. Between being ill and everything that has been going on in my life, I just need a low brain. I need to be working on things, but they need to be easy things. Right, next. You will notice as well, I have sewn in my ends and I have put the buttons on. I have also put the button on this, but I think I'm going to take the button off because I have not centered it properly. It's driving me a little bit crazy. I have also woven in the ends for this. I've made one of these before. It's a star stitch hat, and I got the, God, what have I done with the pattern now? Dropped it on the floor. I found this little leaflet thing. I used to get I use the Readly app now, but I used to get lots and lots and lots of different subscriptions. Crochet ones mostly. So this is from Simply Crochet, issue 52, so quite a while ago. It's been quite a while since I got any like physical magazines, to be fair, because I've been using the Readly app for so long. I've made this with Stylecraft Special Aran Pistachio, I think it is. and it's just star stitch. Like, you make this bit, you make the long strip that goes all the way around, and then, you know, like when you're making the bottom of a bag and you just go round and round and round, and that's how you get this like flap, the circular flap. You can see on the inside. So do my ends. And then you just attach that and then work up with a little star stitch. I like the star stitch, it's very pretty. And everything in this book is star stitch. So there's a beret. I mean, I don't know if you can still get this on their website. I know if you're on the Readly app, they have these supplements. If you go to like the end of the magazine and keep going, if there's a supplement in the magazine, you will get it on Readly as well. There's these gloves. I think I'm going to make these gloves with what, because I didn't use a full ball and gloves tend to not take much. So I'm going to mix what I've got left of this with another yarn that I've got left from another hat that I'll show you in a minute, and make stripy gloves and make these. I don't think, oh, itchy nose. I don't think I'll do the cuff quite like this. I think I'll probably just do like a normal ribbed cuff. But I like the actual knit part of it. And there's this one, which again is like starting from a centre strip and then working your way out until it's as big as you want. This is the one that I made. Oh, it's a little bit of glare, sorry. If I remember rightly, you got that, the big button. You got that in the magazine as well. But I obviously don't have that anymore. And then this bag I quite like as well. I might end up making that. The bag is actually on Ravelry. Because I looked it up, because quite often the crochet magazines will take their stuff and at some point they then put the patterns for sale on Ravelry. Or the person who designs them, when you get the rights back to your pattern, you can then put it on Ravelry. Which I need to do with mine, and I just keep forgetting about it. I need to get around to doing that. So yeah, nice little booklet, and I think I'm probably going to make the rest of the stuff that's in here. But we have one hat. And I just followed the pattern for that. I think it was a 5mm hook that I used for that. Next thing I made was just a little baby hat. Just a little turbany type baby hat with a bow. And this is Stylecraft Special Aran in pink. This is the same pink that I'm using to make my peg. And I just fancied a really quick and easy make. And I was looking through my... I haven't sewed the ends in on this one yet. Still got an end hanging it. I was looking through my Ravelry library and this was just like the quickest, easiest thing that I could find to make. So I made a baby hat. I don't know why I made a baby hat, but I did. Oh, that one I've shown you before. I know I've shown you this one before. I still haven't put the buttons on it yet. That's the Moogly blog hat. I can't remember the name of it. I don't know. I'll link it down below if I remember. This is another hat that I made. Can't remember the name of this one or who it's by. Haven't sewn the ends in. But this is... I'm going to put this one in with the other green hat to make those mitts. I'm not sewing the ends in on this one yet because... In fact, did I show you this one before? I might have shown you this one before as well. Because I said I wasn't sure if I wanted to make it bigger. And that's why I hadn't sewn the ends in. I can't remember if I showed you that or if it was just on my Stitcher library. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm not being very good today, am I? But done is better than perfect, probably. This one, I'm pretty sure I showed on Stitcher Library, but I might not have. This is a drops design pattern. A nice big thing there. That would be nice just as like a doily or a bag cover or something, but it is a hat. It is a berry. This is using the Neko yarn. I'm pretty sure I showed this on at least on Stitch Your Library. Still haven't sewn the ends in yet. Oh, I don't know why I've not sewn the ends in on this one. That's just me forgetting about doing it, honestly. I've not had like because I store a lot of stuff at my ex's house, I have to wait on him bringing me the things that I need. And I had to wait on him bringing me, oh, itchy nose. Must be all the floof. I had to wait on him bringing me a little, I've got polystyrene head for taking pictures. I'm actually almost done with finished objects. I may have shown this one before as well. Have I had a shawl? It's finished at last. I've spoken about this one at length. It's using Sardar something or other in the colour Honesty. It's floofy, it's massive, it's going in the shop. I was actually taking pictures of it today. And then we only have 2 more finished objects. And then we've got a couple of whips. And then, I feel like I'm rushing through this. It's because I don't actually have the information to give you. I'm just like showing you stuff with no, that's not my last 2 finished objects at all. I do have another finished object as well that I don't have here because it was a gift, but I will put pictures on of it next week. If you've been on, oh my ears are squint. If you've been on my Instagram, you'll have seen it. It's a mimic, Dungeons and Dragons mimic by Complicated Knots on YouTube. Right. Spring Fling. I think this one I had started. I think this was a Stitch Your Library one. So I finished off this. If you saw, I did like a little mini yarn haul from Knitting Network. And the yarn that I got in that is what I used to finish this. And also to finish this, because I already had 1 ball of this colour. So it's the same shawl. It's called the Spring Fling shawl. And it's just like a nice basic granny. And it's got this lovely picot edge on it. And it uses almost 200 grams. This one reminds me of bonfires. It's very like autumny bonfire fireworksy. And this one's very like spring and summer and just drape it around, just like to keep the sun off you a little bit. The yarn is really nice. It's got that like Caron Simply Softish kind of sheen to it, but it is so much nicer to work with. I don't like Caron Simply Soft, and I know that some people would have me burning in the pits of hell for saying that, but I don't. I've tried using it several times for several different projects. I actually had a magazine commission, and that's what they sent me to work with, and I was like, I can't use this stuff. I just can't. So now I specify, please don't send me Caron Simply Soft, because I don't like it. It's splitty, it's slippy. They've sent me to work with something as well. I was doing colour work. It was a colour work project and they sent me Caron Simply Soft. I was like, yeah, this is not going to work. I would need to have my tension so tight for it. Anyway, this stuff is, I wouldn't do colour work with it, but it's great for this. It's got a nice drape. I used, what did I use for this? 5mm, 6mm. I think it was a 6mm because I wanted it to be nice and drapey. It was in I think this was in my last Stitcher library because I had done half of it and then I'd run out and I thought I'd had 2 balls of it and I didn't. And then I luckily got one in my yarn haul from Knitting Network. It was a mystery box and they just happened to send me this exact colour, and they also happened to send me the colour for this as well, which I already had 1 ball of, which I didn't realise at the time. So yeah, I managed to get 2 shawls done. Again, just very simple projects because I've needed simple, and you can't really get simpler than a granny stitch. I know some people can do a lot of crochet without looking. I can't. I'm a pretty fast crocheter, but I have to look at what I'm doing. I can't crochet without looking at all. My last couple of finished objects here, the kids will be happy to get these back. One of them is a little 1-up mushroom, and one of them is a little Gudetama. Now, most people probably recognise this as being from Mario. This is the little, like, when he goes along and he jumps up and he hits the brick and the little mushroom comes out from, like, the early Marios. And this was, like, very, very, very quick to do. My youngest person loves Mario, so he wanted a little mushroom, and so I made him this. And Gudetama is probably less well known. It's a Japanese thing, shockingly, and he's an egg, but he's like a sentient egg. And my 12-year-old watched there's a program on Netflix where there's, sorry, get me a little sip of water. Oh dear. Program on Netflix with this little guy, and he's like trying to find his mum. There's him and a little chick. They go out on a little mission. Excuse me a second. I'm sorry. Right, so they go out on a little mission to find his mum, and he's like the laziest thing in the world, but he's cute. Look, he's got a little bum. Little bum. These are from the same designer. Cannot remember the name of the designer, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. So these are on my Ravelry project page as well. But I will link these as well as everything else down below. I've got a massive, look, you can see the pile is just here next to me. The last thing that I made was, you may or may not know, I have cross-stitch projects on a rotation. So I have like 4 cross-stitch projects that I rotate out weekly. I have 1 long-term project that I'm supposed to do 200 stitches on, or 250 stitches on a day. It started off as 200, but I've slacked on it so much it's now up to like 250 stitches a day, so that I can get finished before the end of the year. I'm going to have to recalculate it again because I've not stitched on it properly for a couple of weeks now because I was ill and because it requires a lot of concentration. But I also have a bedtime project. So at night time, I will go up to bed because I don't sleep very well. So what I've started doing was going up to bed at night time with my stitching, and I have them down here actually. They're not usually down here, but I have them down here today because I was charging them. I have my little lights that, these are awesome. So I have these, and I have my lamp on, and I lie in bed and I will cross stitch for an hour, and I will listen to an audiobook for a bit, and then that means that I'm in bed and I'm getting tired and I have something to concentrate on that's not too taxing, but it's enough so that my brain doesn't start doing rings around itself. However, when I'm in bed, I'm snipping off all these little threads, and I'm like, I've got a little bin next to the bed, and I've got a little project bag thing that my cross stitch stuff is in. But I don't want to be like leaning down the side of the bed and getting the bin or having bits of thread everywhere. So I made myself one of these. we're ignoring the fact that it has black thread on it. I couldn't be bothered changing the thread in the machine for this. This is called an Ort Catcher, O-R-T. It stands for a few things depending on who it is that you ask, but I've always known it as all dry threads. And if you don't cross stitch, this might be like a weird thing to you. If you do cross stitch, this may also be a weird thing to you. But what a lot of people do is they gather up their orts, and then at the end of the year they'll put them into Christmas baubles, or they'll collect them through the year, depending on how much stitching you do. Collect them through the year and maybe put them in a vase or a jar, and they display them. I know a lot of people do it with like their crochet ends as well. I couldn't do that, I would have far too many. But I did start doing it this year. Yeah, I started doing it this year with my orts, and I had them in, this is going to sound bad, but it's not bad. They were in a vodka bottle, but it was like a fancy cut glass vodka bottle, and it was really, really nice. And I thought, I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to wash it out and everything, and then put it in, used it for my orts. But then my graceless lump of a dog was, she was protecting the family from a moth, because, you know, moths are evil. I mean, to be fair, moths are evil. Like the little silk moths. I don't know what they call them anywhere else, but we call them silk moths. Little tiny things. She hates them. And then they come in and she just chases them around, and she knocked my Ort bottle over and smashed it to bits. And I was like, right, I'm not doing that again. So I'm going to take this off because I'm sitting here with this weird light around my neck. These are really good though, honestly. Not even just for cross stitching. You use them for crochet, use them for whatever. They're bendy, flexible. You just plug them in with the little plug things, and they're great. They're comfy to wear, very lightweight. Anyway, Ort jar. So, Ort catcher. So just put that in there, and can you see all my little threads inside there? So this sits upstairs with me, and just when I snip off my little threads, I just chuck them in there. And this is literally, you make this by, you get a big triangle, and you just fold the corners in and sew up this big triangle, and then you just fold the corners in and sew up a couple of inches there, and then just fold these bits down. And this is just some scrap fabric I had. I don't even know what's on it. Oh, this is a Mickey one that's on the inside. That's Mickey Mouse. And on the outside is some nice pink batiks. So yeah, there we go. Little Ort catcher. Oh. I've been quite enjoying my stitching recently because the weather's been changeable, but it's been mostly warm. We haven't had many cold days. We've had a lot of rainy days. We've had a lot of cloudy, muggy days, but mostly it's been too warm to stitch, to crochet or to knit. So when it's too warm to crochet and knit, I like to do more stitching. And also, if I do too much crochet, it hurts my wrist. And because I had just done all of this stuff, I had to have a little bit of a break from crochet, so I've been stitching a lot more. This week's stitching project, I'll just show you what I've been stitching this week. Oh, this is the bedtime project. Dungeon Meowster. He's going to have a big D&D dice there, a D20. So I'm doing this colour completing. I finished this colour, I finished this colour, now we're on this one. And yeah, I mean, most of this is going to be filling in this colour into the odd bits of the cat and then doing the dice. But I've also been not really stitching on this one too much because I have been so tired. Just being ill. When I've been going to bed, I've been falling straight asleep. And then just I'm on a bit of a downwards trough at the minute with my sleeping. But it's all good. It all comes round, goes round. This is the other one that I've been working on. And this is Totoro. Oh, there's like so many ways that people say his name. I just say them all. It depends on which second I'm in how I'll say it. So here we go, and he's got his little hat on. I'm almost finished the page. I really wanted to get the page finished on this today, but I'd say today's just been not the most productive in the world. I'm wondering where this extra needle come from. It's because I've got the needle minders on here. The needle minders on here. This is just on 14 count bright yellow Ada that I had in my stash, and I'm using all the Cowl for DMC. The needle minder, put the right way end. The needle minder I got from Lakeside Needlecrafts. She's really, really good if you want any kind of cross stitchy stuff. Got that, and it was only £2 I think it was in the sale, and she had lots of different ones. I got that one, and I got a fox, my little fox. Very cute. They're just little cut wood. They're very lightweight. Sometimes you get needle minders and they're quite heavy, or the magnets aren't very good on them. These ones are pretty good, while still being lightweight. I got this one from her as well ages ago. Can't remember where I got this one. The Dungeon Meowster. So I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. The Dungeon Meowster pattern I got on Etsy. White Raven Stitches, I think it is. I don't know. It'll be linked. And the Totoro one I got on Amazon or eBay or something. But he's lovely. I'm nearly done. All this top section is done. I just need to finish this little bit down here. And there's like 4 pages, but the top 2 pages have got more stitching on them, I think. I'm not sure. We shall see. But he's going away. He should have gone away yesterday, but I just wanted to try and get the page finished, and then I couldn't. And next week's project is going to be the bee. No, this week's project is going to be the bee. So I'm going to get that out. He never got any work in them last time. The bee didn't, because I was ill that week and I couldn't stitch. So I need to make up for it this rotation. Alright, what else have we got? I think the last thing that I've got, it's not the last thing that I've got at all. Let me just put this, oh yeah, let's not do that. No, we're definitely not doing that. I need to work fast because it's going dark and I can't put the light on because it just sends everything weird. Right, so do we remember a blanket that I was making ages ago? I was making this. I got the kit from the Knitting Network, the Shoreline blanket. It is a very simple, very basic feather and fan blanket. Except it wasn't very simple and very basic, and I was trying to work on it while I wasn't feeling too good. And when you're doing feather and fan, I mean, I'm not giving anything away. It's a basic feather and fan. It's a pretty standard stitch pattern. There's a knit one that you have to do after you do the humpy bit. You're supposed to do a knit one, and I hadn't been doing that. So the blanket was about that size, and I had something like 12 extra stitches, and I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to bother. So I ripped the whole thing back, and what I'm going to do instead is, instead of having one blanket, I'm going to have shawls. So this is an Italian Winter by the Italian knitter, who's Francesca. She has a podcast, and she has a whole selection of these shawls. She has an Italian shawlette, an Italian spring, an Italian winter. She has a cowl as well, but I can't remember what that's called. But yeah, she's got a collection, and they're all free patterns. They're all super, super easy. The pattern itself is well laid out, so even though it is just a triangle shawl with eyelets on it, it explains it to you, and then it has like little bits in it for if you don't want to keep looking at the pattern and keep counting. It's a nicely written pattern, even though it is for a very simple one. So my plan is to have this grey along with this blue and this green, and see how far I get with them. And then, because see, I've still got about half a ball of that left. Oh, and then I'm going to make a pink one. Unless I get incredibly bored and want to make something different, I'm going to make a pink one as well. And then that leaves me with 2 balls of this colour. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But I figured like it's the only one that's got 2 balls of the same colour. So if I leave them out and having 2 balls of the same colour to make something is going to be better, then I can make like a cowl or something. These are 80% acrylic, 15% merino and 5% viscose, which is the little, see these little like dark bits in it, the little neps. That's the viscose in it. It's nice and soft, it's nice and springy, it's chunky, classic tweed chunky, 100g balls. I say I got it as a kit from the Knitting Network. You can still buy this. You can buy that yarn separately as well. I will do the blanket at some point, just not now. And that has given me something just nice and easy to knit on, because yeah, anything that requires any kind of thought has just not been a thing at all. And I think I have one, and this actually is this time, one more thing that I'm working on, which I should have finished today and didn't because I got sidetracked with everything. I had this little charm pack, kitty corn. Look at this, I love this fabric. So we have one side, and this is the other side, and this is what I'm going to use for the inside. I just decided to use the charm pack, make up a bag with it, and this will be going in the shop. It's lined with quilt batting, so it's going to be lightly quilted, and then so it keeps its nice squishiness. So yeah, I just need to finish putting that together. Let's put that down there. Then that'll be going in the shop as well. And I think that is everything. So we're on 38 minutes. Just a quick little life update. I got a car, so that's been interesting. It will, oh my goodness. So I have never bought a car myself before. I couldn't drive when I moved here, because where I lived before you didn't have to drive. I lived in a small town, you could walk everywhere. So when I moved here, I couldn't drive. So I've only been driving for about 8 or 9 years now. And I was with my ex at the time when I learned to drive. And so he always bought the cars, and I didn't have anything to do with them other than, like, I would pick the car that I liked the look of, but that was as far as I was involved in it. So like, I don't want to go into too much ranting and complaining, but we split up and he kept the car, even though I had the kids, and he never let me use the car. Never let me use the car to take the kids anywhere or anything like that. And especially not after he got a girlfriend, I wasn't allowed to use the car, even if it was to take the kids anywhere. So I've like busted my ass, because something as well is, if you live with somebody and they do all the finances all the time for everything, you don't get a credit rating. So I left that relationship. I didn't have bad credit, I just had no credit. So I've been like busting my ass trying to work that up. I eventually managed to get enough to get a loan to buy a car, because I'm trying to go and look at houses, and I can't go and look at houses because I don't have a vehicle. So I eventually managed to get a loan to buy a car. And she's a tiny car. She looks like a toy car. She's not pretty. She's old. But she's my first car and she's glorious. She's tiny, but she's big enough for me and the kids and the dog to fit in. She's going to be very economical on fuel and things because of that as well. Insurance. Oh my goodness. So the insurance cost almost as much as the car. Like literally, it was about £20–30 off the price of the car. It was ridiculous. And that was me spending hours shopping around for different insurances. Some of them, they wanted to take like 2–3 grand off me for insurance for the year. And I'm like, I've literally never had an accident. I've been driving for 8 or 9 years and never had any hassle. But that's how much insurance wanted me to pay. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So she's not going to be my forever car, but she will be my car that I can do stuff with now. And it has been so nice because the kids are now off on summer holidays and we've been able to do things like, even just simple things like where I live, I'm not in walking distance of a supermarket. So just like being able to go to the supermarket and pick up a few bits rather than having to get it delivered and hitting a certain amount of money that you have to spend and things like that. You know, simple things like that make such a difference. We went to, where is it now? Forestry England have lots of sites all over the place where you can go on walks and trails and things. So we went to one of those. It wasn't great, honestly. I wasn't very happy. It was one, it's in a place called Rugeley, just next to that. I can't remember the name of the actual park. It's like Fair Oaks or something it was called. And it was awful. I've never come back from a nature hike more stressed out than when I went. I came back, I was like, oh my God, I have to lie down now. It was shocking. It's like mountain bikes razzing past. This like older guy went past on a mountain bike, swearing at my kids because they were walking at the side of the path. There was like me and the 2 kids and the dog walking in single file at the side of the path because we'd already had lots of people flying past on mountain bikes. And he swore at the kids on the way past because they were like walking along the side of the path on the actual walking trail. We didn't look, I never pushed him off his bike. But we got a bit further round and we started speaking to, there's a lady there walking her dogs and she says that's her local dog walking place because she lives in the village down the road. And she says it's like that all the time. She says it's absolutely horrible. And people are just like rude and mean. So that wasn't great. However, we have been to other places. We've been out walking the dog to different places. We've been out to different parks. We've been actually taking advantage of it and it's been good. I didn't realise how much I miss having a car until I'm actually able to go and do stuff. It's been fantastic. On the house front, it's been useful because I can actually go and view houses now without having to jump through 5 million hoops and look for childcare and see if I can get somebody to give me a lift or, you know, I was missing out on viewings because I didn't have anybody to take me to them. And yeah, I've been looking now for over 3 months and I've had 5 viewings. I have applied for nearly 150 houses and I've had 5 viewings. None of which have panned out. So, and I got a letter this morning saying that they want to come out this week to inspect this house, like the estate agents. Excuse me. So that they can give them a valuation for it. So, yeah, the house thing is not going well. I'm really hoping that something comes up soon because I want the kids to be able to start the school year at the same time as the rest of the kids. And I've extended my radius massively now. I'm up to like an hour's drive away from here and I can't really go much further than that because my ex still needs to see the kids. Like the kids would be devastated if they couldn't see their dad. And I don't want to be, like, he won't drive any more than, like, he doesn't want to drive any more than half an hour to see them. And I've just said to him, like, I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to drive further. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. I need to find a house, and my options are now limited. And I just need to live with it. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything that's been going on. I've mostly just been ill and stressed out looking for a house, but my happy little car, I've ordered some stickers for it as well. So I'm going to decorate it with stickers and make it look cool. I need to get some seats for it because obviously the plan was, I've got like an in-car harness thing for the dog, and the plan was for her to sit in the boot. So I took like the boot shelf off so that she'd still be able to see us and then sit in the boot. But you may have seen Lilith before and realised that she's a needy little brat, and she sits on the back seat. You put her in the boot and she just immediately jumps over the back seat and just sits in the back seat, which is fine. It just means that I need to get seat covers so that I can take them off and wash them. And the kids like sitting in the back with her. I have like one sitting next to me and then one in the back. And everybody fits in. And it means I can use the boot for actually putting bags and stuff in now. So it's worked out okay. Yeah, so that's it. My plans for this week. Now that I am starting to feel better again, I am still a little bit tired, so I'm not going to be doing anything too stressful this week. Mostly I'm going to be working on the house and trying to get a bit of admin stuff done, get some stuff listed on Etsy. What else? I'm going to be working on Alfie's pig. I've not showed you the pig because I've done hardly anything on it. That's all I've done. I've not had the brain power to do the math for it. It's starting to get really dark now, so I should probably go. Yeah, I don't know what the rest of the plans are for the week. I just know I have this thing on Thursday. Looking for more houses. Don't know. The kids want to start a YouTube channel, like a separate one, a vlogging one for going places and doing things. So that might be a thing we do at some point. And yeah, that's it. This is, let's say, going to be my little reset. I've probably forgotten to say a million things. I'm sorry. I know this has been an absolute shambles, and thank you to anyone who stayed this long. Should be back on the schedule now. I'll be back on Sunday with Stitch Library. I'll be back on Monday with another podcast. And I actually will be this time because the last time I said I'd be back and then I wasn't because I just got really ill. But this time I can't get ill again. I don't have time. Okay, right, I'm going to go. I'll be back next week. And yeah, enjoy your week. Have a lovely time. Anybody who is like dealing with children on holiday, I send you love and hugs. It's not easy. It sounds like it's one of those things where I love having the kids home. It's great. It's great spending time with them. It's great doing stuff with them. But it's exhausting because I'm still trying to do all the rest of the things. They're on holiday. I am not. So I'm still trying to do everything as well as spend time with the kids. It's hard, but we can do it. Right, I'll be back next week. Bye.